You really have to start putting things in a sort of mechanized system rather than just play it by ear or just follow up with sort of simple methods.
Hey, my name is Felix Tia, and I'm the host of Shopify Masters, a weekly podcast powered by Shopify, the easiest way to sell online, in person, and anywhere in between. Each week, we invite entrepreneurs like you to share what they've learned growing successful e-commerce businesses. In this episode, you'll learn how this team manages the entire business through one project management tool, what questions your Facebook ads consultant should be asking you, and how to scale a 2,000 influencer marketing program. Today, I'm joined by JP, the CEO, and Alex, the COO from Phone Loops. Phone Loops sells finger and wrist straps for smartphones, helping users secure a comfortable grip on their devices, and was started in 2014 and based out of Quebec, Canada, and has sold over a few million units. Welcome, guys.
Hi, Felix. Thanks for having us.
Cool. So, JP, I think you're the one that had mentioned to me that, like many of us, you drop your phones over and over again, breaking more than your fair share of screens over the years. And you just decided there has to be a better way to do this, and you don't have to be breaking your phone all the time. So tell us about how you came up with that better way.
Yeah, so after a while, the bills started stacking up, and I realized I wasn't the only one with that issue. So I was making sketches and prototyping some solutions, and once I figured out a more simple and efficient way to hold my phone, I've been prototyping some straps, and I've been giving out to some friends and family. I was getting great feedback about the product and decided to crowdfund it.
Mm-hmm. So you said you had many ideas. Were they all around the idea of this kind of loop around your phone, or were they other potential solutions for that problem? Or are you talking about ideas for completely different problems and completely different industries?
Oh, yeah, for sure. People don't realize, but I sometimes forget myself that it took 1,000 ideas to get to this point. Years and years of trying and prototyping, thinking about solution to common problems, and spending lots of money on bad ideas. And
yeah, I think this is a very common process that entrepreneurs go through, which is that they have ideas, they try it out, and this one obviously is stuck in has led to a lot of success for you. What do you think about this particular idea, this particular problem that you're trying to solve? What made this one successful and the other ones not?
For sure, the investment side of it wasn't rocket science. So when Kickstarter and Shopify came around, the timing was right. So I decided to run a Kickstarter campaign, and it all started with a wrist strap, actually, like you find on ski poles and point-and-shoot cameras. Then a few months later, we introduced the grip strap that we used to call the Ninja Loop, that allow a better grip, one-handed grip on your device. And that was the home run. So, it's basically a self-adhesive strap that fits around the vast majority of phone cases. We soon rebranded the product as Phone Loops Grip Strap for SEO purposes, of course.
Got it. So, but what made you take this idea further? Because setting up a crowdfunding campaign, everyone that I've spoken to that's done this, it is not easy, right? It's not like you just put something up and you expect money to roll in. You have to invest a lot of time in building out the page and kind of telling your story. There's certainly an investment of your time and potentially, money to build up the stories, the photos, the videos, and everything like that. So what made you decide that you were going to take you mentioned the Ninja straps. What made you decide to take that particular product to the market, to the crowdfunding platforms like Kickstarter, rather than some other idea that you had in the past? And what about this one did you say that this one has the best shot?
Okay, I'll take this one, Felix. So basically, everybody has a smartphone now, and everybody's looking for safety. Everybody's looking for ways of protecting their investment, because fixing a smartphone costs so much. And there are a lot of solutions that have been coming out, and we're lucky enough to get in the game early with regards to the phone grip business. And because there's such an intricate part of our daily lives, we interact with them over 100 times a day. Everybody's experienced some kind of accident with them, dropping them in water, dropping them on the ground. And so it was an idea whose time had come.
So everyone can afford and benefit from a better grip strap, considering you are getting a hold of your phone over 100 times per day on average. And that screen replacement costs hundreds of dollars, and all investment in a phone loop is pretty much a no-brainer. So there was a great fit, with a great market fit, great timing. People 5 years ago started to get more and more phone cases. It's not like 10 years ago where you had some people with no cases. So the timing was right, and that's why we decided to go ahead with the startup.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of other successful entrepreneurs that will say that the best products to bring to market, to invent, are products that you are surprised or feel like should already exist. So it sounds like this was one for you guys where there was everyone was facing this problem. Right? People were their phones are slipping out their hands. Why isn't there something out there? 5 years ago, that is. Why isn't there something out there that helps prevent some of this? So you mentioned JP. You mentioned to me before the interview about how phone loops was a one giant project management exercise where you're learning, improving, and mastering, and the art is key. The art of project management is key to surviving in the startup of an e-commerce in the e-commerce environment. And I'm sure the crowdfunding process was very a big part of this. So tell us about that. What kind of project management experience did you guys have at the company before launching this business?
Yeah, well, for sure, the Shopify store is, of course, the backbone of all of our retail side. It's simply the best online tool out there. Zapier serves as our digital conductor, if so to say. And we, as for project management in a broad way, we. One of my greatest finds is the project management tool now called Monday.com. I've been on the lookout for something like it for years, and I was really glad to find it. So yeah, it's a slick and flexible solution for managing almost everything. And there's a new automation feature that allows us to streamline some workflows. It allows our team to know what tasks need to be carried out, and it offers threads and to report and discuss possible issues, sends deadlines, reminder, and all sorts of things. And with some Zapier integration also, it makes a great project management tool that I think it's my engineering background that just helped with that side of the business, because it's in the end, it's just a big project to manage.
Right, very, very logical and kind of process-driven approach to solving a problem. So, what did you before you found Monday.com or any other kind of project management software? What were you guys doing? Like, were you guys just using spreadsheets, or just kind of kept it all in your head? Like, how did you guys kind of put this all together before you found a tool like Monday.com?
Oh well, we try lots of solutions, and in-house systems, list task, email structures. What would we use before that? I've run through so many tools and apps because the best project management tool is the one you use and that works for you. So it takes a few months to see if it fits the bill, if it fits the team, if everyone adopting it, and can't remember all the other solutions we try out there. But in my opinion, you just have to be patient about it and try some solutions until you find the one that's right for you. And Monday.com is pretty flexible, so you can tweak it the way you want it to work for you, and it's been such a relief.
Right. And this concept of premature optimization, where a lot of entrepreneurs will kind of get stuck in this early phase of, I have to pick the best app for everything from here all the way to all the way on my path to success. Otherwise, if I don't know what it is, I can't get started. So is it ever too early to pick a potentially heavyweight, I guess, solution for project management right off the bat? Or do you think you always just start off with some kind of tool to manage the entire project from the beginning?
What do you mean? If it's better to start small because I know it's a paid solution. Monday.com is a paid solution. I think it's a great advertising for Monday.com.
Yeah, I guess the idea is like if you were to. If let's say someone out there wants to get started, they want to get started down the path of creating their own product, maybe launching it on Kickstarter or something, do they need a tool like this to manage the process, or can you start off sooner rather than, because you got to learn a new tool, right? You got to get everybody on board.
Yeah, and I had some background also in that field, so that helped a lot, setting up the workflows and processes and automate things. But I can imagine for someone that starts from scratch, it's very hard to structure such a project management tool. But no, at first you don't have to go all in with robust and big solutions. I like to keep it lean and simple, and you can go really far with just emails. Just keep it clean. Don't spread around with all of these other apps, and because soon enough you realize that okay, you're chatting on Slack, Messenger, SMS, emails. You're calling each other, and so you have to just find a way that your team is working in one place. And it can be just emails, and you just keep it clean, keep it simple, and emails are basically free, so that's my recommendation, I guess.
Right. I think that's a good point about how tools should help you move faster and not slow you down. So I think in your case, it makes sense at a certain point. Did you guys have to go through that where you're like, okay, now is the right time for us to bring in a more specialized tool for project management? When did you guys come to that realization?
When the task lists are too long and when you can't keep up with the projects, you can get the ball rolling with some emails, that's okay. But if ones don't reply, or if a client don't reply, or you have to ensure some follow-ups to all of these projects and tasks. So that's when we knew we needed something that we could rely on and go back and see what's the status of that project, what has been done, play with the deadlines, and just get the ball rolling 15 minutes at a time. Just get it rolling, pass it to another team member, and don't wait about for an email return or just forgetting about things. So that was a kind of a wake-up call. Yeah.
And I just wanted to add also to that, I think a lot of early on in the business, a lot of it was in your head, JP. I mean, you had everything in your head. And so as more and more team members started getting on board, there were more and more projects, and we had to keep track of everything and make sure everybody sort of knew where everything was at. And so that's when you really have to start putting things in a sort of mechanized system rather than just play it by ear or just follow up with sort of simple methods.
Right. So I'm looking at the site now. So we mentioned that there are a couple of products. You have the grip strap and a wrist strap and a bunch of different designs and colors for each one of those. So when you talk about a project, are you talking about launching a new product? Like what encompasses a project that requires you to kind of manage everything through a tool like Monday.com?
Oh, yeah. For example, all of our editorial calendar is managed through that tool. All of our ads are created within that tool. So visuals, copy, targeting, and so our content creator just creates some stuff there, passes through our consultant who's like more on the technical side, just build the ads within the Facebook ads and Google ads platforms. So that's one. They're working with boards, so that's one board. That's one aspect. We use it as CRM for some of our corporate clients because we do lots of custom branded loops for companies like Disney, Netflix, Airbnb, and just want to drop the ball on these orders. So we have another board for that act as a CRM to do some follow up on trackings and everything, invoices. We have another board which is called processes. All the processes in the business, all the workflows are mapped there, so we can monitor which workflows, which processes are not as healthy as they should be, who's in charge of them, so we can act pretty quickly if, for instance, some outreach processes that don't work, or if a specific workflow is in need of attention. We have another one that's just an agenda where we can tackle each week some of our big topics. There's a pipeline with all the major projects with schedule. And so it can pretty much be anything you want. You just understand your needs and try to map them and with baby steps and manage a big project.
Yeah, my workflow is definitely a lot simpler than yours. So I don't use a big tool yet like Money.com, but I just use something simple like Trello, for example. I think one of the difficulties that I have, and maybe other listeners might have, is when you do bring on a new freelancer or a new employee, is getting them onboarded onto your process, and especially when yours has gotten so intricate that everything is inside a large tool. How do you do this? Like, how do you make sure if someone is onboarded, they know where they kind of have to step in to see what they have to pick up, and where they have to kind of ask someone else to do their part? How do you get them integrated into the process?
So you just make sure you understand where to fit in a certain workflow. So it's very structured. There's no incertitude.
There's no uncertainty.
Yeah, there's no uncertainty about like what they have to do and when they have to do it. So if we take the editorial calendar, for example, we would just flip a switch when the content is made. So we change the status, and when the status is changed, it's just adjust who's in charge of that task. So the next one is our consultant. When the consultant has set up the ad, it switches back to, okay, it's ready to roll. And then our content creator can go and take that task and go validate and approve the content. So the copywriting. So if everything is in place, then she just switch it back to another status that just go ahead and post. And so that task just jump in right in the consultant inbox. So just to have the little bits of tasks followed by each other and get the ball rolling. So everyone has a responsibility in workflows, and they are all visual and all map and all clear.
And basically, it's fairly, what I appreciate about JP is that his workflow is very straightforward. And once you get the hang of it, really, there's hardly any issue. So it's once you do it for about 2-3 weeks, 1 month, you sort of know the ins and outs of things. And it's sort of overall very smooth.
You use a process like this kind of project management process for the crowdfunding campaign?
Not that advanced, not really, but I guess my engineering background has always been following me, so I'm always thinking in systems and processes. So yeah, but we didn't have a tool like that. It was more hectic.
Right, that makes sense. Okay, so let's talk about the crowdfunding campaign. Was this the very first time that you were able to truly validate that people were willing to pay for a solution like this?
Sure. We set out a goal of a pretty low goal of $4,000. We just wanted to win. We just wanted to get funded. So we ended up having about $6,000 of pledges. And fun fact, Alex was the first pledger and the last one to close the campaign. We started with local awareness, radios, paper.
Yeah, word of mouth spread, and it's the Ottawa metro area is a fairly small place, and everybody's 2 degrees away from each other, and so the focus was really around there, and it sort of spread from there, basically.
Well, shout out to Rick Broidia from CNET.com, who has been a great fan of our products from the start. He's publishing great posts about phone loops year after year, even after the Kickstarter campaign. He fell in love with the product, and yeah, he deserves a lot of credit for getting the word out about loops, especially on the US market.
Got it. Okay, so after the success of the Kickstarter campaign, what was next? Like, how did you guys start to build this thing into an actual business?
Yeah, so we started to reach out to some outlets, and some reach out to us as product awareness grew. So yeah, it started locally, then province-wide, radios, papers in Quebec, and we were very soon featured in Vogue, Wired, Money, NBC, CBS, and CBC in Canada. We had that like notorious, kind of getting some notorious press, and then started to run Facebook, Instagram, Google Ads, understanding the ins and outs of these platforms before hiring consultants. And yeah, we also did some great stunt marketing gigs, so to say. So we ended out in 2016 some custom branded loops for the Oscars in the VIP bags, VIP gift bags, and it made for some great press back here in our home province, which was our first big hit in terms of product awareness and acceptance. Later on, in 2017, we were featured on the French-Canadian version of Shark Tank, and we were offered a deal that, 15, 20 minutes of airtime helped us double our sales figures again for that year. Ever since, we've gotten pretty good with influencer marketing also. We have over 1,000 active influencers out there on board. We're still growing with our in-house systems. We're getting all the marketing and retargeting machine is working well, and we just keep going with what we know what's working.
Yeah, you've mentioned a bunch of marketing channels there. Now I understand why project management is so important to you guys, because there's so many different ways that you are able to drive new customers. So let's talk about some of them. So you mentioned that you were featured in all of these sources, these publications. Was that all organic, or did you do outreach to get published in those places?
It was 50-50. I'm saying 50-50. I'm not sure of the proportion, but some of them we reached out to. Some of them reached out to us. Basically, for instance, Dragon's Den, we auditioned for that, and so that was our own marketing effort. And as the person who operates the custom loops side of things, I have a lot of companies that reach out to me and ask to have custom loops made. For instance, Amex, Disney, Netflix, and Airbnb. And often when I ask them about how they heard about phone loops, because we want to know which marketing channel works, is basically they have a colleague in the office who has a phone loop. So basically, the best marketing is loops themselves. So you can ask for a better marketing tool.
Yeah, I've heard that too, about how if you want to kind of expand your B2B, your corporate client base, the best way is to have great marketing and have great word of mouth from your regular kind of B2C customers, because they're the ones that are going to be making the decisions, or at least talking to people that might be making these decisions. So that's another great point for that. So when you are reaching out to them, what's your pitch? Like, how do you position the company? Like, how do you position in a way where they think that it's worth telling your story?
But with in regards to corporate clients, it's an easy pitch. I mean, people are getting tired of the hats and pens, T-shirts. It's okay. It's well. There are still the most popular swag items in the industry. But when you come up with something very affordable and seamless that fits in your pocket without any bulkiness added, that is a win for the ones who are using it, and the brands that put their logos on it. It's the greatest marketing tool you can have. The proximity with the user and the brand it couldn't be much better. As I said, you pick your phone 100 times per day. So everyone can benefit from a loop. It's a one size fits all solution. Everyone has a smartphone nowadays, and so that's basically the pitch. It's probably one of the most affordable swag you can get for your brand. It's trendy. It's a new thing,
and it's subtle enough too.
Yeah, so it shows a lot about the companies that just go ahead with new swag like that, giveaways, and it's a big hit in any kind of trade shows, festivals, and even fundraisers and all sorts of events.
Right. What about from the PR perspective, when you're pitching to them to get them to feature you guys? What's the angle?
Basically, what's the angle? What do you mean by the angle? How do we approach them?
Yeah, how do you approach them? Like, what are you telling them? Because and I'm sure they're getting people pitching them all the time to feature different products. What do you try to say so that you stand out and that they decide to cover you in these publications?
Yeah, so our approach is pretty lean, and we have we are making some great mock-ups. All of our system is very automated also. So clients keep giving us some great feedback about how we work with them, how the relationship is built. So we first send out some samples. We show them a mock-up with their logo on it. It's very neat, it's very clean, it's very good looking, and there's a quote also attached to that email. So everything is there. They can pass it out at the office. They can print it out. They can show it to their teams. And Alex is doing a great job with nurturing these relationships. So and after that, on the operational side, if I can say, it's also very much automated with Zapier and QuickBooks. So all the invoice side of it is automated. The shipping is we deliver on time. It's pretty.
I got it. Right.
It's a very nice experience in regards to some other experiences you can get in the promotional industry, which is quite a old industry.
I was gonna say, so you guys are able to scale up this process very, very quickly because you have everything integrated. And so is this the same, I just want to make sure I get the question through. So is this the same when you want to get covered in the magazine or online, for example, are you doing the same thing where you're like putting their logo or something or branded for them on the phone loop so that so it catches their attention? Is that what you do too, to catch the attention of websites that might want to cover you?
Oh, not really. Not but for CNET.com, for instance, we did some custom loops for them and some of their bloggers. But not really. It's just we send some samples. We send a few samples for their team, and they try it out. And most of the time, they come back with a love letter and said, "Oh, wow, this is okay. I can live with that and more. We want more loops for the team." And then, it can translate into an article, some press. We have that advantage that our product is very much affordable, so we can capitalize on the sampling side of outreach and sales pitch. Yeah.
Got it. So Dragon's Den. So you mentioned that after being on the show, it doubled the sales figures for that year. That's pretty amazing and kind of scary that sometimes it just takes like one of these opportunities to really blow up your business. So talk to us about that. How did you guys get on that show?
Oh, we applied.
Audition.
We auditioned. Yeah. We auditioned and. We were looking for strategic investors and some good press, also good visibility. It was a very long process actually, and quite scary at first. Our first TV experience and our first pitch experience also. So we put a lot of time in preparing a perfect pitch and practice it. Alex was a big coach in that regard with his PR background. I guess it went really well. We ended up with a deal on TV, and it didn't follow through with the technicality after that with in regards to making a deal. But
it basically created a new normal after that. That was really the sort of point where we crossed a threshold in sort of awareness and acceptance in Quebec. Like it was just like it went to a completely other level, and it stayed there. Ever since then, things have been. People are very familiar with our product in the province of Quebec, and that sort of helps get the word out both on the retail and custom side.
And to get back to your question, we just filled out the application and we got choose after one or two auditions, I guess. So
What do you think made them choose you? Like, what do you think if you were to do it all over again or to coach someone through this process? Are there certain things that you would mention people to highlight that makes it more likely for you to be featured on a show like this?
Sure. So the main thing you have to understand, it's a TV show. So they are looking for a show. They are looking for some. So my initial line was dropping my phone on the floor. So I was talking about, hi, I'm JP from phoneloops.com, and I'm dropping my phone as I speak. So that just surprised all the dragons and made some kind of a show. We made the clip, the ad clip. The preview, the TV preview, commercial preview. Yeah. So so they are looking for a great performance, entertainment, and all the business side of it is a whole other thing. It's not what people think about what it should be, I guess. But we can understand the investor side also, where there's a lot going on and. Not every deal can be landed. But most of all, it's a TV show, so you just focus on giving a great performance, something that you would like to see on TV, and that's about it. But yeah, you give yourself some chance to get picked.
Hey, real quick, if you're enjoying the show, please leave us a review on iTunes and let us know what you think or what you'd like to hear more of. Now, let's get back to the interview. All right. So you mentioned this is now a new baseline for you guys in terms of sales and just acceptance and credibility for your business. So what did you have to change in your business to support this now that the baseline is potentially 2 times greater than what it was before?
Oh, lots of things. At that point, we knew we had. I like the analogy of a car. So we drove our car from Ottawa to Montreal, or Ottawa to New York, but like it was shaking. We were working very hard to fulfill all the orders and customer relationship and getting on top of things. And so that's why we sat down and said, okay, all right. So are we changing the car, or are we just putting upgrades and new features, and what do we need to fix to sustain that volume and still deliver quality and maintain our reputation? So yeah, lots of changes, and Monday.com sure helped. Again, shout out. But yeah, you just have we hired more people. My brother came in. My wife is working also with us, and Alex is actually my childhood friend. So more and more people coming in, more consultant, and
I just wanted to add, like it was important to get the right team with the right knowledge, and just keep it streamlined. Like not do a what they call a bozo explosion, and just keep it very, very focused to capitalize on the momentum. And going from there and grow together, get the right team, get the right tools, and carry the way forward.
Got it. Makes sense. So I want to talk now about the Oscars VIP gift bags. So this is a pretty big win too for that credibility and getting it into the hands of lots of potentially massive influencers. So how did you get involved in this kind of program?
So that's pretty funny. They reached out to us. I received an email late 2015. It was like a senior producer of the Academy Awards, and I thought it was a scam. So didn't reply. Waited a few weeks. Got another email. So they were proposing us to set up a booth and getting some activation on the ground there. And after thinking about it, it was about a $20,000 investment from our side. So that would never happen. Mm-hmm. We just pivot and propose them to make some custom loops for the gift bags. And that's when they went crazy about it. They said, "No, really, you can do that?" "Oh, for sure, we can do that." And we ended up sending, I think, 500 custom loops for the event, and it did more whiplash, more press back here in Canada, in Quebec, actually. And so, that's an opportunity that happens just because we are out there. We started our project. We are committed. We were committed to it and just working hard. And so that was just an act of God, I guess, getting reached out by such an amazing academy.
Right. So it sounds like basically years of effort that you put in really to get this opportunity at all, right? You had to be out there, be exposed, and be doing business before someone will come along and give you this opportunity. So certainly not just all luck, right? And that's involved here. So you also mentioned that Facebook and Google ads that you have now hired consultants for, but at first you wanted to do it yourselves and learn it yourself before hiring outside help. Talk to us about this. Like, why was that important to you?
Oh, I mean, I like to understand what's, the technicality of things, the details, and how things work before hiring someone, so I can speak the same language and understand the limits and constraints of any kind of platform. So testing the grounds, what's working, what's not working, and understand what a consultant needs to know and what I need to know. So we set out some limits with CPA.
So basically, you have some goals, like these cost per acquisition goals.
Cost per acquisition. I'm sorry about that. Yeah. So we set limits, and we create new content like every week, every day, and we know what's the requirements of, for example, Facebook Ad Manager and all these platforms. So we're not like in the dark and throwing money at consultants that just do things that we don't understand, I guess.
Yeah. So say more about this. So you mentioned that you wanted to understand what the consultant needs from you, and then you also want to understand the deliverables and what you can expect from them. So first, starting off with what the consultant needs from you, what are certain things that a good consultant should ask for from a business owner like yourself?
Oh, CPA for sure. Budgets. There's the tone also, the vibe, the taste of the brand. You have to communicate that. So to ensure a consistency in the brand, and so that's an ongoing like work and ongoing thing with the consultant. But yeah, you sure needs to understand what you're all about, and what's your goal. But also, I like to hear from them. For instance, our consultant is always keeping up to date with the new things. So listening to podcasts, reading things about the ever-changing algorithms and all sorts of things. So we need that from them. We need them to be the watchdog for our campaigns and performances, and he needs to communicate that. So we have like bi-weekly meetings with them, and we keep it tight.
Got it. And what about the other way? What do you expect to get back from them? And is it like a report or something that you're getting weekly, or what kind of information do you want to get back from them on a recurring basis?
One of the great find is the video reviews. That's a great thing. So each month we receive a quick, like it can be 10 minutes review, a screen share, a recording of the consultant with all the dashboards open, and he gets through all the campaigns, all the metrics. So you don't have to jump on a call. For instance, our consultant is he's a digital nomad, so we were not on the same time zone, and he's just sending out a video recording of our Instagram and Facebook and Google Ad platform. So that's a good form. So each month we get that, we can have a look and stay close to our all of our campaigns.
Mm-hmm. And you mentioned when it comes to influencer marketing, you guys have 1,000 active influencers in your influencer marketing program. How did this happen? Like, how do you get 1,000 people promoting your content or your products?
Yes, soon 2,000. It's going pretty well. Vivian is working with us with reaching out to potential influencers. It's really scaling the unscalable in entertaining relationships, and it's a very human way. It's not like some kind of hacky and generic approach. So she builds a relationship with people that we want to work with. We are sending them some samples. They like it. They do. They promote a story or post, and so we get lots of new content all the time with different people, different like environments, and all sorts of vibes. So it's pretty straightforward. You just contact them. You propose. You have a little pitch where you propose some samples, and we take it from there. And it's all automated in the background. Where when we can, we have an interested influencer. It just gets through that automated processes of the sampling, the email, the follow-ups, and so we can scale up. So it's all linked with some other tools, I guess. that's what we do. That's how we do it.
Mm-hmm. And to wrap this all up, I want to mention something that you had quoted to me, which was that for you guys, success has never been around one specific marketing strategy or one, shady growth hacking shortcut. But what was most important was that consistency, and you mentioned leadership and your management abilities. So let's start off with consistency. What does that mean to you?
Wow, what a great question. How can I answer that?
You can take a few seconds to think about it.
Yeah,
sure. I know that. I love that you mentioned leadership. It's it's all about leadership, and maybe I can take a little time to think about it, Felix.
Sure.
Or ask the question a different way.
Well, I think here's a better way to ask it is what's an example of something that you have made sure to stay consistent in that you think has had a big impact on your success?
Having kids. I don't know. It sounds funny, but it's very structuring. At one point, I realized that I cannot work 60, 80 days a week, 80 hours a week. So the amount of time you can work on your business is limited. So you better make the most out of it and be efficient. I guess it's all about efficiency and structuring your week, your days.
And also, if I can say, one thing that's really, really important to us is quality customer service. Like you got to be on the customer side in a reasonable way, but you got to, most people who come and buy from you are in good faith. And if a package is lost and, you get on the ball, you set things up and you make things work and you make sure that, people are taken care of. And if you take care of people, they'll take care of you. And it's a mutual, like, you're helping them with their brand or their mobile lifestyle, and they'll help you build your brand. And it's really like mutual relationship from the retail side to the custom side, and ensuring consistency, as in like we always give our 200%. We make sure that our clients are happy, that things are taken care of, and that any issues are addressed quickly.
So you mentioned as well about the apps and services that you use. Are there any customer CRM software that you use to help manage all of this?
There's a lot. It's about 200 online accounts. Lots of them are linked together, but it's quite crazy.
You have 200 accounts that you use, 200 tools that you use for the business?
Yeah, I listed them at one point. It was, think about it, all the shipping accounts, all the, you have the Shopify, you have the QuickBooks, you have some Google Suite, you have your hosting, I'm sure every business is the same. You just list all the account that you have. It's over 100 for sure. And my favorite one is, Zapier. We use Cognito Forms also for onboarding new influencers and corporate clients. We have it's endless. I mean, these one are we have Languify because we have lots of French clients, so we must have a bilingual website, which is great. Other tools, other apps. We have Page Builder in Shopify, so we can have a very neat sales page, mobile friendly, because I think more than 80% of our visitors are on mobile, which is astonishing. I can't wrap my head around that, but so all that these little accounts are single accounts in the end.
Makes sense. So I want to leave you with this last question. What would you say was the biggest lesson you learned in the past 12 months that you guys are making sure to apply today?
Yeah, time management and energy management, filtering the noise, keep focus and gain momentum. It's all related. So yeah, when I'm sure, and it's all the same for every business. And the more you gain traction, you start to get more and more cold calls and sales pitches by numerous agencies, freelancers, and potential partners and whatnot. So, all claiming to be able to make you an offer you can't refuse. So, yeah, it's easy to be caught in name dropping hype and quick gain and what if it works mindset, and take on risk, even when your gut feeling says otherwise, especially in startup phase, being a little naive, I guess. And yeah, one good example of that, we were involved with a marketing campaign with a shark from Shark Tank, which turned out to be one of our biggest financial loss. And we have numerous stories about things going bad, bad collaborations, and all sorts of things. And as a result, we analyzed all the things that went wrong, and we actually came up with our own red flag system to avoid being dragged down by peddlers and freeloaders. And Alex and I sat down, listed all the things that went wrong over the past months, and found out patterns. And that turned out into a trigger list where we could avoid getting caught in bad situation with disrupting people and bad businesses. It was kind of mapping our gut feeling. I don't know if you understand. So pressure sales, generic outreach, unclear plan, too good to be true plans. So we've learned to listen to our instincts ever since. And 95% of the time, we've been right. It's really something that can make or break a business. So, that's one of our biggest learn.
I like that, the idea of mapping your intuition so that you can kind of logically look at it rather than making emotional decisions. I think that's, I've never heard someone talking about it like that, but I can see how valuable that is, especially when you are starting to get overwhelmed by all these, quote unquote, new opportunities. So I think that that's a great lesson to learn and to leave us with. So fluentloops.com is the website. And, thank you so much, JP and Alex. Thank you for coming on and sharing your experience.
Hey, thanks, Felix.
Thank you.
Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Shopify Masters, the e-commerce podcast for ambitious entrepreneurs powered by Shopify. To get your exclusive 30-day extended trial, visit shopify.com/masters.